Hello, and welcome to Books and People with Dhruv, your guide on this journey through the world of non-fiction books, where we explore powerful ideas that can transform your life. If you're passionate about personal growth and self development, you have come to the right place. The purpose of this show is to bridge the gap between books and people. We'll not only dive deep into the ideas and strategies these books offer, but we'll also explore whether what's written has been applied in real life, and if those who have put these ideas into practice have found them to match with what's written. So, wherever you are, join me on this journey of growth with the show called Books and People with Dhruv, where every chapter brings us closer to a better you, and where we are going to test the real world impact of the wisdom found in books.
Namaste everyone. Welcome to Books and People with Dhruv. As you can judge by my voice, I was down with flu yesterday, so I could not record and yesterday was much more worse than this. So I could not record yesterday and because of that I missed on posting my episode. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to record both the episodes and I'm going to post them. So, just a message for everyone is that please be careful. As we all know, the weather is not good out there, and even there are some viruses and some diseases outspreading wildly. So, please take care and be precautious about things. So, let's dive today into the third episode of the book which we are covering by Carnegie and J. Berg Eisenwine. The book's name is The Art of Public Speaking, and the chapter which we are covering today is Efficiency Through Emphasis and Subordination. While I was doing my preparation and studying for this chapter, I realized how deeper and deeper the author is going with the principles which are there. And likewise, somewhat, I want to really share them with you, and I want to tell you that how amazing it is, how much deeper can somebody just go into the point of speaking in public, and the whole how can a language be framed. You would be amazed as I was. So let me just take you through what I had studied today. So, as the author has promised us, he is bringing in the principles which we are going to use and apply them. So, the first principle which he introduces is the principle of emphasis. And this principle talks about being full of a particular feeling. So now that we know emphasis is when you have to emphasize on word, put weight on something while you're talking, even in our general conversation, when we are having it with a friend or asking questions to our teachers or telling something to our siblings, it is very much important while we are doing that to have emphasis on the principal idea of that sentence which we are going to speak to them. So, this is the word which he subtly puts the principal idea. And there is an example beautifully given in the book, which is destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. And then the author goes down and breaks this, and now he's going to explain us how the articulation and the formula is prepared out of this principle. So, you see, the whole sentence has this principal idea which is the destiny. Here we are talking about destiny. Then we have to understand in the whole example, now we have to put emphasis on not. As our hearer, the one who is listening to us, should not misunderstand that we are saying destiny is a matter of chance. Right? That's not what we are saying here, right? So we have to make sure that we put emphasis on destiny is, so it can go like this. Destiny is not a matter of chance. And naturally, you will also speak the word chance out loud, as that is the one of those two ideas which are in the sentence of choice and chance with which we are playing. So by now, I think you must have gotten the idea that what we are being told is to use the contrast effect. How? That first you have a principal idea about something, and then you use a contrast effect. Like, for example, my horse is not black. What color just pops up in your mind when you say that for the horse? Most of us would have white. That's what the contrast effect does. Oh, understand this, okay? This is also a very playful way to engage your audience who's listening to you in this whole idea and the picture which you are creating for them. Because when you give them this chance of filling in the gaps, by this process, you're bringing out a thought from within them. So, this is the chance you are giving them to open up and from their side start to engage in the session or the talk which you are having or the communication part which you are doing. So, the contrast is just for there for you to now have it as an icebreaker or something like that. Then, in the horse example, you look at it very carefully. Is it not when you say it like this? My horse is not black, he is white. That color of the horse is for sure imprinted in your brain when you say it like that, or if you just plainly assert it, my horse is white. That image which you created previously was much more, you can say, vivid. Now go back to the example of destiny. There, if you look at what was the thing which we wanted to positively bring out, it was the word choice. And now we remember the quality of the subject is going to be dependent on this. As now, when we read it, it will sound like this by putting in the right emphasis at the right place. It goes like, destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. Wow. I myself, when I said it like that, I felt like I was giving a powerful speech in front of a huge audience. It is truly amazing that we have just started, and the first principle itself, the principle of emphasis, is bringing in so much value to us. So, these are the points which I took. So, I would like to share it with you. The three things which I saw here, first one was the principal idea, then second point was the contrast, and the third one was the quality of the subject. So whenever you would like to prepare a speech or when you are delivering something, so make sure that you have a clear picture of your principal idea, then you have the contrast effect sorted out, and then always remember the quality of subject which you are going to deliver. And that does not only mean vocally, you can also do it while you are writing down something, while making sure that you put in things in bold manner and the size is correct of the statement which we are giving. Now, as we have understood that emphasis is a matter of contrast and comparison and the quality of your subject. Quality in sense whether your subject is trying to say, is it some giving out some positive thing or is it giving out some negative thing? Negative meaning news, like for example in news, something happened somewhere and they have to give out that subject, and that is the quality of that. So likewise, you have to play along with the principal idea and the contrast effect of it. Now, emphasis can be done in two manners. One is the way of speaking it out loud, one is by speaking, just whispering it. For example, if your tone has been loud for the whole time, then maybe tampering it down and whispering it something, like, hey, why don't you understand what I'm trying to tell you? You better understand. Something like that. In movies they do, right? Always the hero first goes, yeah, ooh, yay. Then he, in a very stylish manner, just says, "Well, you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Otherwise, it would not be a good thing for you." Or your tone has been very whispery from the beginning. You have been keeping it a low tone. then maybe you put down a high pitched thing at the end. So, like you have, for example, okay, so I'm trying to tell you this, and this is what you have to do, and this is how it has to be done. So, you better do it like that. Something like this. So, in the upcoming chapters, we are going to learn about inflection, feeling, pause, change of pitch, change of tempo. I think that is an exciting journey which is waiting for us. And so, now, and also, please don't misunderstand emphasizing or something with yelling of thing. Yelling is not what we are trying to tell here, but applying force to something which is important is the whole idea here. And by emphasizing on some words, make sure the others work as the subordinates to it, and they are the helping hands for that word to be held up. So put your words to work. Just like that, there is another way to emphasize on something by laying stress on every single syllable in a word. Like, I saw this amazing thing. And not just words, it can be applied to even a whole sentence like, wow, what an amazing match it was. And another beautiful example by the author is that notice how the meaning changes by merely putting emphasis on different words in the following sentence, okay? I intended to buy a house this spring, in bracket, even if you did not. And then you speak the same sentence again. I intended to buy a house this spring, but something prevented because the intended word was being put emphasis on. Then one more example of the same thing. I intended to buy a house this spring. When you put emphasis on house, it is like saying that not something other than house, but the only house. Now, if you look at I intended to buy a house this spring, is speaking that it was option of renting was not there. It was only about buying. Okay, so that was about all the examples we had. Now, the most important thing is to understand that emphasis is not some structured thing. It is not some fixed thing. It depends on your speech, what you're going to speak on, and it will come naturally to you. And while you're speaking on delivery, it will be very much clear to what to emphasize and what to not. While you're preparing, that is a different thing. You can prepare, and then but while your performance, when you think that this needs to be molded, you should be adaptable to the situation and just do it. So this was it for our chapter 3. We got a very beautiful thing to learn, which was the efficiency through emphasis and subordination. Make sure your whole sentence is going to be there for helping when you are emphasizing something, helping the main word. And how is that you choose the main words out of a sentence? Remember the 3 things, okay? Principal idea, contrast and comparison, and the quality of subject. This can help us by how to bring out the emphasizing points, where to know, where to hit them correctly. So, thank you everyone once again for joining, and it was a beautiful learning experience. And I hope I was able to share some key points with you. So, thank you and bye bye. Thank you for being part of Books and People with Dhruv. I hope today's exploration opened up some new ideas and perspectives for you. As we continue to bridge the gap between wisdom in our books and our everyday lives, I look forward to uncovering more together. Until next time, keep exploring, keep reflecting, and let these insights guide your journey.